yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. No pain for their disease. Just like a weed, spread into the streets. It's time to make them bleed. 'Cause we just want retribution. Let's go light up the darkness. Make true of an empty promise. Flip gods into weak and harmless. Take to the streets and turn them to a mosh pit. 'Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution.
Great intro video. Love it every time.
Yes, it is. I'm also excited that this week we finally get to complete the whole kit of racers that are in my intro video have been on the podcast.
Oh, that was like a check off. You had like a list.
A little bit.
Nice, dude.
Had Charles James, both John Sullivans, Chris and Amanda. And this was the only one that was left. But
oh, there we go.
You know, just a little cliffhanger.
Wonder how many folks can tell whose car that is. I mean, it's pretty obvious. It's not El Mero. I'll just say that. Dick Ray, what's good?
No, but I'll tell you what, it definitely gives a run for the money.
Oh, for sure. If not, I mean, there's really, you can't rate them against each other because they're two different types of cars. They're two different styles, and they equally are as badass. Carter Jackson, what's good, brother man? What is good? Of course, Mike's watching from Knoxville.
2:16 p.m. Central.
Love it. Oh, that's great, man. So holy cow, what a great week, dude. We've had a lot of great conversations kicking off this week. Huntsville is going to be fantastical. Pretty excited about that.
64 days and hundreds of ways that everybody can get their butts down to Huntsville.
64 days and 100 ways. Went down to Kentucky this past weekend, down to Bowling Green to check out Beach Bend Raceway Park. That was pretty cool. It's a pretty cool track. It's one that is definitely going to be on the list of options to go to. I was kind of surprised when I came up over the hill and I saw a roller coaster and a log flume and water stuff and merry-go-rounds or a Ferris wheel and merry-go-round. A
Miracle Whip. What are we talking about?
Miracle Whip.
Really
There was all kinds of Miracle Whip and stuff and things and whatnot. But yeah, it was cool, man. And you could tell that it's it's a wide track. It's a long track. The grounds are awesome. It backs right up to a river. But what's cool about it is that it still has some patina to it in the stands, but that it doesn't need to be redone. You know what I mean? Sort of like, and nothing to Dan and Al, but they knew what they were getting into when they bought Rockingham. However, when you see the stands, the concrete stands, I mean, some of it is like in disarray. Like some of it was broke up, and obviously they're working on that. But this track, like the stands are perfectly 100% usable, not in disarray, but that's just kind of the overhangs patina, and it's just cool, man. It has been, yeah. And so when I ran into Toby Baptiste and his guys down there, they were running a door slammer. They were telling me they've been coming there since they were like teenagers, so that's every bit of 40 years or so.
Ooh, wow. That's a bold statement.
Not Toby.
Ryan said that.
Well, I mean, they're in their 50s. So that's safe to say.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was a cool track. It was a good experience. And then went to the Corvette Museum the next day. Missed I guess they had a big to do on Saturday where they had the new ZR1 Corvette there, which I didn't know about. However, I decided to go on Sunday. But what a cool, I didn't realize until we were in Bowling Green that that's where the museum was. They had the giant sinkhole. I don't know if you remember that or not.
Yeah.
What's up, buddy?
Don't they still even have
say hi and then head upstairs?
Hi.
What's up, bud?
This is Emmett, future racer here.
Cars that fell in.
Fire.
Can you make a fire?
Yeah.
No.
Why?
Not without some adult supervision.
What if Stevie's with us?
Steve's only a couple years older than you.
Yeah, Stevie's like 9.
What if Steve's with us?
Yeah, not tonight, son.
We have all the stuff
Hey.
ready.
It's not even cold.
Okay. All right. Thank you, son. I'll see you in a little bit.
He asked.
He did ask. Yeah, for sure. I mean, my kids are awesome. Super awesome. Super great kids. There's just no complaints about them at all. But so the museum, I didn't realize that the museum that was where the sinkhole was, where the floor opened up in the showroom and all those Corvettes fell down into that giant cavern down there.
Yeah.
So yeah,
repair a lot of them.
Yeah. So it was cool that, some of them were restored and, are perfect. They have a couple that are just totally crushed to death. I mean, just, clearly the first one that fell down in there, just unrecognizable. And then they had, and then there's a hole that looks down the shaft into the cave there, which is pretty sweet. So
nice.
It was a cool experience, man. It was a good experience. Bowling Green's a cool track.
Sinkholes are crazy.
That's what he said. I got nothing. Not Tuesday night. Anyways. So yeah, Huntsville, October 25th, 26th, Rocket City Drags. Got the logo out. Be ready. Pro Extreme, Pro Nitrous, Extreme Dragster. You guys know who you are. Start locking in. Start letting us know. We've already got plenty of guys that we know are going to be there. So we'll keep growing it. I'm excited. Those classes are getting more recognized. Congratulations to Cole Pez and his new hot rod Eleanor. Just a beautiful car, man. When he went up to Washington for No Prep King event, and that was pretty awesome. I guess that he beat Doc, which we sponsored Doc, but he beat Doc and went up against Kai Kelly. I don't think he beat Kai, and then
not a lot do.
No. Kai's on his game. And then I think he ran Swanstrom in a big tire race. So I'm not sure how that panned out.
Yeah, it's like a consolation or second round, something like that. They start off small tire and move to big tire. Darlene was kind of explaining it a little bit Tuesday night.
I think it's like a loser's bracket, right? Like the big tire
Essentially.
thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
How did he do against Swanstrom? Do you know?
Not too sure on that one. I'd have to peruse the old Facebook and find out.
Yeah, I remember watching Justin had made a comment that he was going to the big tire part. I didn't realize he was racing Cole on that, though. So, yeah, congratulations, Cole. That's super awesome, man. You deserve it. You work hard. Your dad's awesome. Your mom's awesome. Your family's awesome. You guys built bitchin' motors, and I thought that your orange or yellow, the orange,
Destiny?
whatever color that was, yeah, your Camaro, I thought that was going to be your hot rod. Had no idea that. And what's funny is that when Larry Jeffers had posted pictures of that car outside of his shop, I just remember going, damn, that thing is sweet. Because as you and I talked about it, we love Bob Glenn's car. I mean, it's so beautiful sitting out in the parking lot, shiny blue, beautiful. And now it's got a cousin or
Yeah, I guess.
family member, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's another pony in the stable. There's another pony in the stable, another Mustang out in the field. But it's a cool car. So again, congratulations, Cole. But again, Rocket City Drags, October 25th, 26th. Be there. It's going to be awesome. Start locking in. Send some messages. Let us know you're going to be there. Just like every other race. If you know you're going to be there for sure, send us a picture of your hot rod and send us a picture of you in front of your hot rod or just a.
And we'll work on getting that
face shot.
pre-registration set up on the FOAT, which has the ability for racers when they register to upload a picture of their vehicle, which is always helpful because then we can throw that on social media, be able to share that out, let
Right.
people know you're coming.
And for any of our Run What You Brung, Door Slammer, and Dragster guys, just a question I want to throw out there. Do you have a preference to race Friday and Saturday, go home Sunday, or do you prefer a Saturday?
You're asking the ether when you.
Is there anybody? There's nobody watching.
Well, I mean, we don't. I mean, there could be, but at the same time, you have somebody that you could talk to.
Oh, I'm going to. Oh, that'll be a question for sure.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, may as well ask that person and then just instead of.
Oh, okay. I like that idea.
Let me.
Yeah. Was that a hey time?
Not necessarily. I mean, you were a few minutes early, but it just it seemed like, hey, why have somebody who could help answer sit in the green room?
I think
we could get to it.
Copy that. I think it's a great idea. So, without further ado, let's welcome our next guest, Mr. Darryl Felps, with that beautiful hot rod right here.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up? What's good? What's good, man? I'm always got it backwards. It's like, oh wait, hold on.
Yeah, I'm having the same problem. Yeah, it's like getting you know when you can't get all confused. In a roller coaster ride, you know, you get all the equilibrium out.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I want to point to it, but it's like, oh wait, and then I just might as well.
It's your other left.
Weird dance. Yeah, same thing. I tell my kids, no, your other left. I don't know. Maybe that's condescending. I probably shouldn't say that to him. Anyways, man, how are you, brother? How's life?
Doing good. Doing great.
Good.
Trying to wait for this heat to pass.
Oh man, so
wait for cooler fall weather. That's for damn sure.
Amen. So what's the temperature been around there lately?
95 with 85 to 90% humidity.
Oh,
You walk out to go get the mail, you're soaking sweat before you get back in the house.
Yeah,
oh yeah.
Take a machete to cut the air.
It's like that here in Missouri too. It's funny because I intentionally left the sprinkler system off so because I like to get out there and push the mower, man. It's just I don't know, one of those guys that like to push a mower. Takes me forever.
I have a big yard.
yeah. Well, I mean, it takes me almost 2 hours to push mow it, but
that's a long time. Yeah,
it is
exercise. Yeah,
it's about 3 or 4 miles.
Yeah, I'm riding around on the Dixie chopper, man. Ain't no way.
Those are nice.
Yeah. Well, you know what sucks is that we live in a subdivision ran by an HOA, and you're not allowed any type of outbuilding, sheds, no nothing. I would only have an option to put a zero turn in the garage, and unfortunately, I have 2 hot rods in there,
Yeah.
and got no
Gotta have
room for it.
priorities, right?
Yeah, you got to have priorities. So
Well,
I'd rather have,
but that leads me into what I've been working on is I'm trying to get a shop started if I could ever do it. The
Yeah.
prices come down a little bit and I can try to afford it,
yeah.
My
So I
goal
turned,
right now is trying to get a place for my stuff,
well, that's always the endless battle. Now I've got,
Yeah,
I got
that's
the
problem.
garage. I got my in-laws garage. I have 2 storage units, 3 storage units, so it's
Right.
just kind of dispersing everything.
We're like goldfish will grow to the size of our environment.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a
Yeah.
good point. So to the humidity point, I turned the sprinkler system off on Monday night. I was going to mow it Tuesday morning, and I get out there, and I mean, the humidity was so bad that it was basically like the sprinkler system ran all night long. So
Okay.
yeah, man, it was a mess.
Like being
Anyways,
a sauna. Yeah.
yeah, that's right. I came up. What's that say? I'm coming up 18 with my granddaughter, and we about to hit the lodge.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they've been on vacation. Yeah,
Yeah,
with
he's out
granddaughters. They've been
playing
golfing.
golf. Yeah, it's been looking. I've been jealous.
Yeah, he's been having a
Yeah,
great
me too.
time.
Uncle Steve's always up to fun stuff.
Yeah, he is. But it looked like some food and hot rods tonight. It's kind of what
Yeah.
it looked like.
Yeah, looks like a car show or something.
Mm-hmm.
Cruise night.
That's right. So, so we were kind of talking in the green room. So you're doing a little bit of work on the hot. So what is the official name of your hot rod?
The Jester.
That's what I thought. The Jester.
Car's the Jester. That's right here, right? No, over here. Yeah.
Look, yeah.
That's the Jester.
Well, I got it on the first
we,
one
got
that
our,
time.
we finally got our t-shirts out, so I don't know if it'll come in.
Almost. No.
there it
Oh,
is.
there it is.
Yeah. All right.
Oh man, I
Yeah,
can't wait
we
to
got
get
the
one of
artwork
those.
and done. Yeah. And my wife and daughter Nikki, they worked tirelessly for like 2 months straight to get some of that artwork done on the car for the design graphics team, and did that. And what we're trying to do is bring some excitement, back into the pro mod racing, the ranks,
Mhm.
and that's where I remember from back in the day, how it was excitement when you go in and you're rooting for your favorite car or cars, usually people got multiple, favorites and all. And then of course we try to bring Mardi Gras when we're down here in Louisiana, so Mardi Gras is always big, and it's a big carnival, it's a big happy time, party. And so we give the kids the beads and the balloons and stuff, and they, their eyes just light up, they just love it.
No kidding.
In the pits. Oh yeah, they just love that. So they're getting some interaction and some feedback, and that just kind of helps them anchor them in the sport, and brings them back. I think also it helps bring them back for the next race and the next race.
Mhm.
Yeah, we
Anybody has a
agree.
good time, they're gonna come back,
That's right.
I agree. I always thought, people spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on their car to make it not a street car or a regular factory car, but then they paint it like a factory car. So what are we doing here?
Right. That's kind of like where we've grown to, I guess. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree with that. And
So
it
back
is.
in the day, I mean, look at the heyday. Every car was a little bit different, and then like you had your guest on. It's got a Canon. He's one of my heroes. That good Lord, has been doing it for 30, 40 years, and I know it's hard work and doing it. Like I was telling you earlier, it's like I'm probably the oldest old timer newcomer to the sport. Last year was my first year out with the car, but I've been building on it for years and trying to do this as a dream of mine for probably going on since, like I said, 94 time frame.
Yeah, 30
93.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, man. So were you into? So let's talk about that. So
Yeah.
How did you get involved in the racing? Is it a lineage thing? Did you
Well,
start as a teenager?
I got the bug from my dad, but he never went to the races. He just always had fast cars, street cars. He always had cars that he enjoyed tuning on and building, and he just liked a well-running machine, basically.
Yeah, right.
And I'm still the same way. I mean, I love all kinds of cars. I don't discriminate against any of them. And when I hear a well-tuned, high revving small block running down the track, I still stop and listen.
Oh yeah.
Because it's just you appreciate the work and the time and the effort that it went into making all that work like a fine Rolex watch, basically. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
And it takes that. You can't just throw stuff together and just hope it works. You got to keep working at it. You got to keep trying different combinations. And that's what I enjoy doing. The engineering part of it. Yeah. So that's my background.
It looks like Steve said Darryl Felps spent thousands of dollars to get XRP, and hopefully shows up with
shows up with
a $50 part. Yeah. I don't know. But yeah. Now you talk about sponsors. I'm self-sponsored. I don't have anybody behind me except for me.
Amen. I feel you there. We're in that same boat, just
I'm
rowing to
what
death.
I want to do to spend it. So I don't have big pockets. I got old dinosaur parts. So one of these days I aspire to get faster and faster, but it'll come in time.
Yeah, it's a process.
It is. Well, you know who else is like that, Darryl, is Doug Reister. When I talk to Doug, he works out of his garage. He's got that box trailer, and he doesn't, when you talk to him, it's not a bunch of super fancy stuff and he's dumping a whole, not that he doesn't put money into it, but he's kind of like yourself, right? I mean, he's resourceful. He uses what he has and he's gotten so good at it that, I mean, golly, man, he's given blower cars a run for the money.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that's the roots of our sport. That's where it came from, way back in the 40s, when the boys were coming out of World War II, and they were hot rodding their cars and all through the 50s. And that's the whole start of our sport, was basically the ingenuity involved in building something that you enjoy and are proud of and getting it out on the track and testing what you can do, so everything you're doing is like trying to do a personal best and then also, competing with your competitors. But it's always, I'm challenging myself to always get better with what I have, and like my supercharger, I run the old Whipple A980, and it's great for what it is, but it's still not the latest, greatest technology,
Sure. Well, I mean,
things that you have, and you just make do with what you got until you can afford better or try to make it work out.
Hey, you know what? The Marines, one of the greatest fighting forces on the planet, we never got new stuff. It was all old hand-me-down shit from the Army. Always. And look at it. So it's all about being resourceful and being good at what you do, right? So
y'all's badass. You didn't need the greatest technology.
but that's what I'm saying. I mean, guys,
for nothing.
right. But that's what I'm saying. Guys like yourself, you improvise, you adapt, and you still make some badass machines, So
right. So I've been striving to do this for, like I say, a lot of years, Yeah. People don't know about me. I was actually running around with Mike Moran, helping him out back in the Hot Rod Magazine Fastest Streetcar Shootout in 94, 95 time frame, 96. I was there at Indy helping him out when he run the first 200 mile an hour and the first 6-second pass with the streetcar,
Oh, wow.
Pro Street category. And that was in the white Camaro we call Casper. And so, I mean, that was, kind of, I was doing that way back then, and even before that, when I was doing had Pro Street car, I had a Monte Carlo SS Pro Street car, just
love it.
Show car type stuff.
Yeah.
And I got the bug to go race it. I got tired of show car, sitting around just in the show arena. And I got in with, Jim Oddie, and he was doing the Nitro Coupe stuff with Super Chevy. So that's when I decided to start doing that, somewhat too.
Yeah.
And,
what makes a Pro Street a Pro Street?
Well, as far as the rules package, back then you had to weigh 3,000 pounds, and it was a big tire car, so that was what delineated the Super Street was the 10.5-inch car, the small tire car back then. And you had the big tire car, which was the Pro Street category.
Oh, that was the difference.
You had to weigh 3,000 pounds. You had to have, turn signals, headlights, tail lights, all that stuff, license registration. They used to run you in Memphis. They had the road race. So that was where we always used to have them a lot. That was where the first ones were, 93, 94. And they would have to make them drive 30 miles. And they actually had one car burn up because it had one of the lines was too close and it melted through on the fuel line and got up, it actually caught on fire. So it's hard on those cars. I would never try to drive mine. No, I can't do it and have no radiator,
Oh, right, exactly.
So you can't drive it like that. But that was the rule package back then. So I was actually building a car. I had a 86 Monte Carlo SS. It was built by Wally Stroop. It was a top sportsman car that I was converting to run one of the first at the time twin turbocharged big block Chevrolet.
Oh, dang.
So that's what I had working on. And I was, building the pieces apart, working with Mike Moran with the fuel injection stuff back then, with John Meany and him at I don't know if y'all, remember he was a Big Stuff 3 now, we had up and all, but now back then it was all the original SCFLO Pros, they call it, from Fel Pro, from Speed Pro.
Yeah, Fel Pro, yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was what they were selling, and he actually sold his patents to them and, brought out his new company, Big Stuff 3, way back in the day.
It's interesting. You brought up big block twin turbo. I just watched Fuel Tech. Luis had some guys from Australia in this really cool car just this past week down at their shop on the dyno, and
Right.
it was a twin turbo big block, and boy, it put out, I think they set the record on the dyno there. It was like
that's true.
5300, 5345 or something like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know, man. I know blowers, I know that screw blowers are the way to go, but I just keep seeing these turbo cars getting badder and badder and badder, you know?
Technology, yeah, fuel tech has finally gotten the processing speed fast enough and the computer powerful enough to control the, I guess we'll call it the auxiliary parts to control the boost of the motor and to control the motor, right? So Mike Moran, he was the first one in the fives with a 3,000 pound car. He had the Monte Carlo. I forgot, it wasn't really named or anything, but he was teamed up with another guy. He partnered with them, and he was the first one with the 3,000 pound car to run 599 in a quarter mile. And it was,
I mean, that's fast,
deal.
man.
And me and Mike used to go back and forth and bounce ideas off each other. It's like I was the first one to say, hey, we need to go alcohol and get rid of all this intercooler stuff, and that's some of the stuff that I've been doing all these years and helping out. A lot of my friends say, you should just keep your mouth shut and save your technology for yourself. But I don't have the money.
Right.
Into fruition,
Yeah. You at least want to see it. You want to see it, even if it's not yourself. You'd like to see it happen. So
exactly,
why not
and that's what it is. I want to help out everybody else, and also I like to see everybody do good. I'm rooting for every guy in the, except when I'm on the line fixing to leave the light or set the tree down on him. I'm rooting for everybody else, and I'll help anybody. I mean, this guy's walking up to the trailer needing all kind of stuff from USB cords to gaskets and whatever, just no problem. Yeah, whatever you need,
So is alcohol?
You can have it,
Is alcohol a? I mean, folks have been using alcohol for a while, right?
Oh, forever. Yeah.
Forever, right?
Way back in the 50s, sure, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's kind of always been a deal.
Fuel when it comes to that, yeah, because the latent heat evaporization is so great, it just pulls the heat out of everything. That's where your benefits come from.
Yeah. I had a dragster guy call me, tell me he was doing a nitrous alcohol car, and I thought.
Yeah,
well, I was like, well, isn't that a normal thing?
It is abnormal, yes, because nobody has the fuel curves for the jetting. Like Shannon Jenkins, the Iceman, he's the wizard because he has developed all this over the years from experience and paid his dues blowing stuff up and understanding what works, what don't. And so he learned from that and said, okay, this is what fuel jet I need to go with this particular nozzle for the nitrous enrichment,
Yeah.
So and if nobody has a fuel curve for the alcohol, then you have to do the math, just the physics involved, and the chemistry, I guess, really, and to see what the ratio of air and fuel needs to be, and then make your best guess. Go to the rich side, make sure you're not going to blow something up, and then just start running it, and then you get the experience,
Oh, right.
And it may have already been done. I'm not as up on if anybody has been running strictly a alcohol with nitrous. I don't know.
Well, this guy said
they've already done it, and already have that technology,
he has
experience stuff, and have that information. But the R&D work is what costs the money. That's going out and testing. You're beating up your car, you're beating up parts. You're chewing through your bank account pretty heavy, pretty hard. You're out there testing. And you'd be surprised. These guys, they go to fuel tech. Well, that's actually helped them a lot because they're actually able to replicate runs on the dyno, because they're running through the gears. They're testing all their systems on that. So the hub dyno has been a godsend in a lot of respects and saved a lot of money for racers. Even though it's expensive to go get on a hub dyno, but look at all the information you can gain from it and testing out your system. So you're making sure you're shifting controllers are working. Like last year, I had all kind of trouble with my shift controller. I had all kind of issues with it. Sometimes it would stay in first gear. Sometimes it would jump straight to second gear. And, it was just beating my head against the wall. I finally just had to scrap the whole thing and get all brand new, But I was using older parts. And, that was one of those new car blues,
New car blues.
Yeah. And you remember all the different little issues that you find. You just keep fighting, You never give up. You just keep fighting, moving ahead and making progress. So, like I say, we've been 392, at 193 mile an hour. So
that's fast.
Good for what I got, for the old parts I got, Linko drive, and stuff like that. And at the time, I was just running a torque converter that was probably 25 years old from Harry Clack over here in Lafayette, Louisiana. He used to run in an NHRA alcohol funny car, and it was just a hand-me-down converter and stuff. And I finally tried to upgrade that, so I'm slowly getting some better parts, but I had to do it like one part at a time,
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a process.
Yep.
So
Like Johnny Cash song, he built the car one part at a time.
one part at a time. That's
Yeah.
right. Yep. Actually, it's a great song.
Mhm.
Speaking, let's just, well, we'll wait for that segment. Yeah, I have a little segment I like to do. So 8th Mile, Run What You Brung, Door Slammer. What was your transition like to this 8th Mile, Run What You Brung, Door Slammer type drag racing? Because you were doing quarter mile before that, right? So was there this?
Yeah, when I was helping out crewing with Mike and all them, yeah, that was all quarter mile stuff. So it's basically your gear ratios, your transmission ratios, and your rear end gear ratio. You
So
got
with
to
you,
change that totally, and then a little bit of the timing curve in the computers, a little bit, to compensate for the loading that you get with the gearing. The
that
different
makes
loading with the
sense.
gearing. That's all you have to really change. Other than
and
that.
you're driving your hot rod, Darryl? Are you driving your hot rod?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So what were
One man
you?
show. One man band. Yeah.
So what were you coming out of before you got into the Jester?
Well, like I said, I had run the Top Sportsman car a little bit, and then I had started building it, and I had some setbacks and some issues with family stuff over the years that it always took a back burner to that and work, So it's one of those things where in my philosophy, it's always, God, family, then me, then the hobby is always last.
Sure.
That's why you say if you can do it, that's good, but you never let it get in the way of life and the other stuff, the more important stuff,
Yeah, no, that's 100%
That's
true.
my goal is the balance. You have to have balance in life,
It's like a table. Life's a table. You got legs on it. Each leg represents something, but without a leg, it's not balanced, right? So you gotta.
Yep.
It's very important. With so the first
three-leg chair is pretty useless. Yeah.
yeah, that's right. And it takes a lot of anyway. So when you were getting into the Jester, the first time you made that hit, were you like, "Holy cow, that was awesome"?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was a good feeling. I was very proud, for myself and my family and my wife and all the work we put into it for sure. Yeah, it was a good feeling. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. And was it a shock from what you were running
Yeah.
before?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Big
with Top
difference.
Sportsman car with a 598 shaft off motor. Yeah, it is a night and day difference from the way it hits. Pull leaves a line for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And it's also I built me and I give a shout out to Darryl Escoing Fabrication. He's the one that built the car, and I think the landlord John sent him a couple, some customers and people. So if anybody needs some help with their car or some fabrication work, he's your man. He's right down here in right out of Lafayette. But we built the car from a Tim McCamus kit, So everything was I did everything on it, and me and Darryl Escoing, and everything else, all the auxiliary stuff. As we started seeing the hands on the writing on the wall, I started out with a big block Chevrolet combination. And, so I had those parts and everything I'd bought over the years and doing different things to get parts saved up, squirreled away in the garage and in the closets, And so then it just started getting where, man, that combination is just not going to be competitive, So I just started looking around and got saving some money and stuff and selling some stuff. And I was lucky enough to get a motor from Hank Stubbs, and that's the one that I was running in the car, So I've done some changes over the last winter on it, but it's that's the combination. I finally got the Hemi, so that was good.
Yeah.
But like I say, I'm still kind of behind with the transmission and the blower and stuff like that, the supercharger. So working on trying to maybe upgrade that a little later on, maybe for next year. We'll see if it's in the cards,
Yeah, well, you got some good ETs, man.
But I did that because of the, like I say, I put a lot of the time and effort into building stuff myself, because I can't afford just to go out and buy stuff. And a lot of the stuff when I was building it back, 7 and 6 years ago, wasn't available. It wasn't even in the market. Nobody was doing it,
Right.
Titanium 4-link bars. There was nobody doing it. I built my own. I engineered my own. I
Really? Are
yeah.
you an engineer by trade? Is that what you do?
I have industrial technology degree from LSU, and I was 26 years at nuclear in a nuclear power plant. I was a NRC licensed operator for 19 years in the main control room, controlling reactivity of the reactor. So I have a passion for that, So
LSU,
yeah,
huh?
I love the tinkering and all the nuts and bolts of it. Yeah, the challenge of the engineering challenge of everything. Yeah.
LSU's a great university. Actually,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think the guys
Very
from
good.
Duck Dynasty, the
Yeah.
dad and them. I think
Mhm.
then all the Robertsons, I think, or at least a handful of, or a couple of them went to LSU. I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. The dad played football there, and anyways, yeah, good college, man. That's good.
So yeah, so that's the challenge to me, just to keep my brain in motion, as it were, and thinking about stuff. And I like to tinker, with that stuff, and that just what fascinates me, and making sure that I can engineer stuff to make it work, And if I can engineer something to be better, then I'll do it. I'll do that.
Yeah. So you weren't scared going from your, I shouldn't say scared, but I just wonder if anyone's ever just said, "Hey, I want to get into drag racing," bought a pro mod, and then just got in a door slammer and started taking hits, or if there's.
I mean, I don't know anybody personally that got scared and just left the game and just sold everything they had. You mean? In fact, the transmission I have in my car come from Jimmy Richter, and he had a customer that came in. This is a story he told me. He had a customer come in his shop, said, "Hey, I want to go race an alcohol dragster." Guy never run anything in his life. And so Jimmy Richter put everything together, had an old, the guy had an old 300-inch top fuel frame that was heavy. He said it was real too heavy, but had, set it all up, and he made some runs with it. And then as soon as he turned it up, where it was going to run the number, the guy just stepped out and said, "Nope, no, thank you. This ain't going to sell everything." So yeah, I guess some people, that's why it's probably good to go to like Frank Hawley's drag racing school. Do that,
Mhm.
Go, try it out.
I'm going.
And step it up as you go. And I highly recommend. I went to the Frank Hawley School before I got into
did you?
Yeah, because I had been out of the game for so long.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I need to do something to try to stair step this thing, get up to speed.
How long was the school for?
It's 2 days.
2 days.
Yeah, was it 2 days or 3 days? I can't remember now. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's great. No, I'm going. I need to go. I mean, I can race cars, but I still think it's important, right? And go.
And he teaches so much more than just nuts and bolts of running a car and the sensation of leaving the line and everything, which is, is all great. But he teaches a lot of the mental part of it too, which is you'll learn a lot.
I'd imagine. Yeah, no, that sounds like it's something right up my alley. It would kind of give me a good refresher. I mean, what I was saying is, so the door slammers and dragsters, those Hemis and whatever, 4,000 or 5,000 horsepower. I've got a Pro Street in my garage that I'm hoping to run here someday. It's all built. It's a 454. It's got a B&M mega blower, older setup, but I mean it's still nice, right?
421, 420,
420. Yeah.
Okay, that's the same thing I had on my '85 Monte Carlo SS Pro Street car.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, my street car that I was taking the car shows and doing Super Chevy events with.
It's got the 427 GM Snowflake L81 heads or L88 heads or whatever, and so it's a good car. But and it's probably
that's what I had in my first car. See, I never bought a car. I was never given a car. I had to build it myself. My first vehicle was a Chevelle that was given to me by my uncle's dad, that had been going to these refineries and chemical plants in Baton Rouge for all of its life for 20 years and was rotted out, rust everywhere, no floorboards, no quarter panels left on it. So me and my dad, we rolled it into the shop at his house, and we started working on it in my, basically, I guess the summer of my 10th grade, after my 10th grade. So we worked on it for 2 years, 11th grade, 12th grade, and I graduated and I drove that vehicle to college.
Really?
I had to build it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's a 307 in it. I had to rebuild the engine in the Autotech's, trade, IT class in high school.
Oh, the tech class.
Rebuilding the head, doing a valve job, boring the cylinders. Actually I took the 327, I turned it into a 327 by using a 350 block and the 327 pistons, and started mix and matching and hot rodding it even back then. with my first vehicle, you know?
It was in your blood.
Yeah. So yeah, it was all in my blood. Yeah, for sure.
So so I got the Weekend Warrior out there, and I'm sure if I tuned it up, it'd probably be 900, maybe 1,000 horsepower, maybe, right?
Yeah.
And then we were in Montgomery, and John Sullivan was like, "Hey, you want to come sit in my altered?" And I was, and fired up and whatever. I was like, "Yeah, man, for sure." So we went and sat in the Patriot and fired it up, and for the first time in my life ever sitting in a hot rod like that. And man, when it fired up, I was like, oh, you instantly realize that you are, I don't know, it's almost like Mother Nature. Like it's so much more than just you, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then he says, and then he's like, oh, give it a couple throttle whaps. And so I was like, wow. And then I just thought to myself, oh my God. And he goes, dude, that was like burnout. That wasn't even half throttle. That was nothing. Yeah. And that's when I realized just how huge of a set of huevos you got to have to drive a machine like you guys drive.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's exciting, that's for sure. Yeah.
Tons of horsepower.
But never enough for us racers. That's never enough. That's the problem. It's never enough. Yeah.
Never enough. Well, I mean, you can always what could you put in there? What nitro? You could just throw some nitro in it, and
No, it depends on what rules you're in. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
You would have to change the entire motor. That's the problem with that. As far as understanding what it takes to run nitro, there's a lot of changes you have to make to the motor. You can't just throw it in the tank and just expect to go fast without hurting parts really bad.
Yeah, for
Depending on
sure.
the percentage, you can go 10-15%. Yeah, that's okay. It'll tolerate that.
Yeah.
But not getting up in higher, amounts, 50%, whatever higher.
Yeah, that's what I understand. That's the big difference between 4,000 and 5,000 horsepower and 10,000 horsepower is, you can have a similar size motor, but it's that nitro methane that's really gonna change things up. Oh, I love that. This is my favorite part of the screensaver back there. That's irritating. I got to figure out how to get that thing to go away.
So let's get back to where this all started, and I'll bring up Steven.
Was it the weekend thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so question for you, Darryl. When it comes to race weekend, is there a difference, or do you prefer? What are your thoughts on a Friday-Saturday race, go home Sunday, versus a Saturday-Sunday race, head out on Monday?
For the racers and stuff, or for the fans?
For you personally. Oh, for racers.
For racers personally, is the Friday night, Saturday during the day format seems to work best.
Yeah.
So you get back home, your crew, with me, I'm retired, so every day is Saturday in a way. But for my crew, they have to be getting off of work. If it's a race that's 8 or 10 hours, like Huntsville, that's basically a 9 or 10 hour drive to get up there, from where we're at,
Oh, right.
So we have to leave out typically on Thursday, sometime, and then drive part way, and then or drive all night and show up Friday morning at the gate, and stack at the gate, or and so they're having to take off a couple of days there, to get off. But if it's something a little closer, sometimes they can come in a little later too, or I'll drive up and they can join me, like come up later on the Friday. Yeah, after they get finished working on Thursday, then they'll just drive all night and get there Friday.
So that's a good point. It's something.
So then that gives us a Sunday to get back home for their work on the Monday.
Yeah.
So sometimes they can just get away with just one day off. Take the Friday off.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, that was a question I had. Next part is, let me go into this next segment. I do a segment called In the Groove, and it's geared around music. So, I'm a music guy, love music. Whenever you're getting ready for something, or let's say that you're in the pits and you're working on your car, or, you're just taking a break and you're kind of getting your juices flowing and getting ready.
That's my order.
Oh, love it. Hello. What are you listening to? What's your go-to to kind of get things going? Are you a music guy? Are you listening to some jams?
I'm not a music guy where it comes to memorizing everybody's names and all the lyrics and all the names.
Sure.
No, I don't do that. I'm in my 60s now, so I was in the heyday of the late 70s, early 80s, for the rock band era. So the stuff that I grew up with, was all the, stuff from Queen
Kiss.
and Pink Floyd and, the Leonard Skinner, Led
Yeah.
Zeppelin, stuff like that,
Oh yeah.
And so then the stuff I like to listen to just in the garage, in the shop, I like some of the Creed and the
There
the
you go.
Nickelback, Collective Soul, stuff like that. Easy listen stuff I can
Yeah, like 90s rock. That's all
Yeah.
good stuff.
right.
Yeah. Good bands. Yeah,
That's
there
where
you
I
go.
seem to gravitate to, as it were. Yeah.
For
But
sure.
my number one is listening to my daughter Nikki sing, and when she sings at church, she's my
Your,
number
your
one.
daughter's a singer, huh?
Yeah, she does. She does a wonderful job.
All right.
She leads the music and all at the church. So
So she got it from you.
praises God. Yep.
Are you a singer?
What's that? Am I a singer? No, I'm not.
Yeah.
No,
So
no.
what instrument do you play?
I don't play the instrument. No. I
Now,
used to. I'm gonna tell myself. And during high school, I played the saxophone, but I was
Awesome.
not. I did not do any. I was playing note by note by note. It's just off the sheet music.
A, C,
So,
D,
and I don't remember
C,
any
D.
of it. Yeah, and I don't remember any of it. So
Well, your daughter is gifted. God's blessed her
Yes,
with a
yes.
voice, it sounds like. And, sometimes that's carried down, it's sometimes it's in the family or they get it from their parents or
right,
grandparents or
I
whatnot.
don't
So,
know. Yeah. It's just
Yeah.
a gift from God. Thank you.
all right. Amen. Well, it sounds like he did a good job. So that's the segment I like to do called In the Groove. It was interesting because we had John Morrison, right, Adam? Was it John Morrison? Joe John, geez Louise. Joe Morrison on. And, he's a top fuel, NHRA top fuel funny car guy. And I asked him the same question. And before you know it, he was a guitar player and he was playing with all these bands and, and it just turned
One
into
of the
this whole
guys in
thing.
the
It was-
chat jams with him when they meet up at races. And
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
You never know. Who was the other guy? Oh man,
I don't remember.
Bill? Was it Bill? Bill Stevens?
Was it?
I believe so. He had a big jazz history that we ended up kind of stumbling across when we had him on for an interview long ago.
Yeah. So what we're doing right now, Darryl, is we're probing everybody because we're going to get an ADRL band together. So like,
Yeah.
So get a read.
I listen to it, but I have a lot of respect for the people that play, musical instruments because it's like left hand brain, right hand brain thing,
oh yeah.
They tapped into a whole different part of the brain.
Oh yeah. It's
If you can listen to something and then know what notes to play or how that melody works and all that, it's just, oh yeah, that's just kudos to them that can do that. That's for sure.
We don't have a saxophone yet, so
Yeah.
if you
Oh, there it is.
Somebody can be an engineer. Not everybody's engineers and not everybody's, musicians.
that's true.
Exactly.
We all have our niche in life, right?
That's right. Adam kind of has the best of both worlds. Here he's an engineer, and on top of that, and he's a musician. Jeez
you go.
Louise, how's that happen?
I play in all the yards.
Those are the double gifted people.
Yeah, they're ambidextrous.
That's right.
Well, that's awesome, man. Well, I'm glad to hear that the car's coming around, and thank goodness that it's wrapped because it sounds like it's kind of holding a few pieces together.
Oh yeah, we're getting it together. We patch her up and get her there, and hopefully over the winter we can do some improvements. I got some of the newer rims that people are trying, the wider ones, so I got that. So,
Oh, I've heard about those. Yeah, the wider
Yeah.
wider rims. So is the idea there to maybe stretch the tire on the rim a little more to stiffen the sidewalls?
sidewall, yeah, stiffen the sidewall. That's right. Yeah. So we've gone through evolution of the liner rims, which I have a set of liners, but I never have really tried them yet. But they're trying to stiffen the sidewalls to get out of the tire shake a little bit or try to get through it, past it.
Are
but
liners and inner tubes the same thing?
No, not at all. No.
Oh,
The
okay.
liners are what they use in a NASCAR for the safety liner. Well, it's the same thing that they've been doing it in Top Fuel for years and years, for probably 20 years better. But it's an inner bladder that you pump up to like 50 pounds of pressure, and that bladder pushes out on the bead of the tire against the rim, and sandwiches it against the rim. Whereas a bead lock is a mechanical joint where you're actually having two pieces of metal that you're bolting or fastening together to sandwich or grab onto the bead.
Grab the bead
It doesn't
together.
start to rotate. It just keeps the tire from rotating on the rim.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So what is the
Like
inner
the bracket
tube for?
races, they've been doing it for years. They put the screws in the rim. They put the sheet metal screws.
That's
in.
what I got in my pro. That's
Exactly.
what I got in the Pro Street. I threw
that's what I
screws.
thought. That's right.
Yeah, old school stuff.
That's
So what are the inner tubes for?
if you want to run an inner tube, it's just a matter of if your tire doesn't, because sometimes the manufacturer will make the sidewall so thin you get leakage through the sidewall.
No way,
Oh,
really?
yeah, I've had tires, many of them that'll do that, and so that helps in those cases, and then it also will help to stiffen the tire a little bit. So if you're running a tire that's maybe a little bit too soft on the sidewall for your car, if you wanted to dead hook it or something, like for a bracket where you're trying to get repeatable times every time. Some people, they'll throw a tube in it, to try to stiffen it up a little bit and to change the characteristic of the tire.
I got you.
That would be the only two reasons to use it. Would be one, if you want to stiffen it up a little bit, and then the other, if your tire's just trying to leak down too much and you just don't want to hassle with it.
I got you.
But,
Well, that was.
I would rather not use a tube if I could, because you're just carrying extra weight, a little bit extra weight, rotational mass. It's all about the physics.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually glad I have I put inner tubes in my tires, and I went to this car show and did a super burnout. And when I got home, I noticed I could see some of the belt under the rubber, and I thought, I was like, well, I could run through it. At least there's an inner tube in there, so
That's true.
okay,
Yeah.
it's not going to leak out. So, well, that's interesting. That's cool, man. So, I'm super excited about Huntsville. There's going to be a lot of great cars. We're down there in outlaw country, door slammer, run what you brung country, and it's going to be a really good show, man. So October 25th, October 26th. Who are you going to bring with you? Two guys. What other door slammers you going to bring with you, Darryl?
Well, I'm hoping my buddy Larry Castile will make it for sure. He's got the black, the gorgeous, basically a factory bodied 69 Camaro.
Yep, seen that one.
So it's kind of unique because it's not one of them stretched in 7/8 scale type of deal. A lot of people really enjoy that car, and it's a beautiful paint job on it. And
Absolutely, it is.
I don't know if Jim Jolly will have his car back out. His new one, I don't think it'll be ready, but who knows? Anything can happen.
Exactly.
But maybe he'll have the root beer 53 Corvette out there.
Oh my gosh, yeah, man.
So it's a beautiful car too. He does the body. He does the paint and body work.
Oh, does he?
He's a body. Owns a body shop. Yep, sure does.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I tell you what, that's a trade to have. To be able to paint cars. I mean, let's see. Nikki got her music voice.
That's mom. Yep. She's proud. Yep.
She has a beautiful voice. Seems like an angel. Darryl's the.
Oh, thank you.
So proud of her.
So you got to brag on me.
Oh, that's good. Hey, publicly
I try to
praise.
help everybody. Yeah, I'm always out there helping everybody.
Oh, bless her, man. That's great. So yeah, we're. So October 25th, October 26th, Rocket City Drags in Huntsville. We will look forward to seeing you there, Darryl. Oh, hey, Dan Lucas.
Dan.
And I look forward to seeing the fans out there. I want to see a lot of people and come by and get some beads. Some Mardi Gras beads and
Amen.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, that is the absolute number one focus right now for Adam and I is to, it's almost like you guys building motors and just throwing everything that you got at it and see what works and what doesn't. And it's kind of the same thing, and what was really great is the help from racers like yourself, spreading the word, posting things on Facebook, prepping up pumping up the show itself. And that really helps us too. And then whenever we, go ahead and advertise and do our thing, I mean, that's the goal. We had a decent show out in Montgomery. I mean, the whole, all the way down was lined up. You had all the tents, that was a good show, but we need like 50 times more than that. So we'll keep.
Next year, you're planning on doing the points and stuff, and you're doing a championship. That's going to be key, I think, to getting the racers involved and sticking with the schedule.
That's great feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is definitely something we'll be doing next year. To what you and I were talking about earlier, when you're funding it.
Yeah, bring back the belt, man.
Yeah. It's one of those things that when you're funding it on your own, it now is when the sponsorships are really going to mean something. So we'll find a sponsor to cover that point series and the purse at the end or whatever it might be. But yeah, that's some great feedback. The points, I think, will keep racers engaged and continue to show up. Right now, it's like, there's no other races going on, we'll go hit an ADRL race. But they know there'll be spectators there. So
Right. Or just hit the ones that are close by. Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
And
That's right.
it does take a lot. I mean, as far as money and time and fuel to get up to a race that's 10, 12 hours away. Yeah, it takes its toll.
No kidding.
Yeah, you got to.
Well, you know what? And I appreciate that whenever we tell everybody we're not going to do any payouts, you guys will be cool with that. So
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Oh, we're going to race for free, everybody. Just
It's
show up
right?
and
End of your payout.
get a trophy. Yeah, right. No, I'm just
Y'all are
joking.
good. Yeah, y'all do good for us. For
Yeah,
sure.
I appreciate that, Darryl. And we
appreciate you.
thank you guys for coming out, and we'll look forward to seeing you in Huntsville. What time do we got, Prince Adam? 7:55, right on time.
Yeah, we're good. We're going good.
All right, good. Other than that, do you have any questions, Darryl? Anything you want to talk about or bring up? Or?
No, doesn't burn a hole in my head. No,
All right.
all good.
Well, Prince Adam, you got anything for Darryl?
No, I'm all good on my side too.
Awesome. Well, sir, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We'll look forward to seeing you in Huntsville at Rocket City Drags, and look forward to seeing that beautiful Jester and your family and hanging out and playing some music.
Yep. Maybe we can bring some Cajun food your way. Up that way.
Oh my gosh, I
Some
can't
good
wait.
food, some real food.
Oh,
Ryan's
some
thinking.
real food. Oh man.
Boudin, yeah.
I'll
The
tell you that.
jambalaya.
Yeah, the jambalaya. Yeah, whoever made the jambalaya that Hank Stubbs had at Montgomery, man, that was his crew made a jambalaya. It was just
Yeah.
I'm sure theirs will probably have a little bit of that Louisiana extra kick. I mean, that's where it came from. So
Always got to have some slappy mamas in there.
That's
That's one of the Cajun
one of the Cajun seasonings.
seasonings we have. That and Tony Shastri's. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
some of the more.
yeah,
And
up
then
north we cook with
Tabasco,
love.
of course, Tabasco sauce is always a staple, on the table for sure.
Tabasco
Gotta have it on
sauce.
your
and-
eggs.
What'd you say? Smack your mama? Is that what it's called?
Slap your mama.
Oh, slap your mama. Punch your
Yeah,
mama.
that's what it's called. That's my son's favorite.
Oh, it sounds amazing. I'll take it. Yes, sir. I'll take it.
Mhm.
All right, man. Well, again, have a good evening. God bless,
Thanks for
Darryl.
having me on. I appreciate it. Had a good time.
No
Yep.
problem.
Much love, brother. We'll talk to you soon, and we'll see you in Huntsville.
All right.
All right,
All right. Everything's
dude. I
back
mean,
on track
can
there.
racers get any nicer, dude?
I don't think so.
I mean, my lord, man. For real. Why is
Good,
everybody gonna be
good
so
stuff.
nice?
Yeah, makes
Be
it hard.
mean. Where's the looking for an asshole that wants to be on the podcast? Anybody?
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, Clyde.
Come on, Clyde. Even Clyde is a good,
Clyde's
nice
great,
dude, man. I mean,
I know.
golly.
I just love how he talks that talk.
Yeah, just because he talks shit, is really good shit talking too, man.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Game respects game.
Amen. Well, before we run out of time here, I do want to talk about merchandise. We do have a new vendor for us called Hot Banana, and he's a close friend of ours. Please go to hotbananashop.com for all the ADRL merch. They're handling all the four of us. Nevin, the owner, is a really, really good guy, man. Super nice dude from the area. He's in our boating club. He's a boater. This is his passion, and he does really good. I mean, you could see all of our stuff. Local guy.
Just dropped me off my new polo shirt today.
Oh, dang. So let's see it. Enlarge your screen or flip them so your screen is big.
That's the best I can do.
Oh, that's great. So it's a negative.
Yeah, I got
Sort
the black and red, and then he dropped me off a red and black.
Oh, man, that's great, dude.
Just goes with my initial visioning of the polo shirts, which is great.
Great job.
I got myself a brand new T-shirt as well.
Oh, dang. I love the classic logo T-shirts.
You wait till you see this one in person, because Nevin did a little alteration to the design to where it gives it a embroidered look. It won't be able to really pick up on camera, but it gives a real nice embroidered look with it not being embroidery.
Oh, okay. There it is. Yeah. Without the weight or the texture, the heat of the embroidery on your
Yeah,
shirt.
and especially on a shirt like these with the polo shirts. And it's a thin, comfy. I'm pretty happy with these shirts, but if there was embroidery on it, then it has to have that backing on it, which then makes it like a rigid square.
Exactly.
And it's not that it doesn't look good, But
Well,
it
what
can
happens is
not-
when you wash them, the material starts to sort of shrink around the logo.
right, and it's a pull point, and it's a whole bunch of different things.
Thanks,
But
Mike.
these, great.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So are those shirts available on the website? Has Nevin loaded those up on there?
They have not been loaded up on there yet, but they will be getting loaded up on there here in the near future.
Okay, awesome.
So we'll keep more information coming out for those as they hit. But the beauty of what he did with his website that we weren't able to replicate on ours was he's able to list all the variations of customization that you can do with everything. I mean, outside of the well, hell, even with the tumblers, you can pick which logo it is that you want laser
Which logo,
engraved
which color,
on there,
which size.
which
Yeah.
color, size, everything. So that's one of the things I was looking for with our merch was the customizability of it and be able to kind of select what you want instead of being stuck with a color combination or a particular logo combination. So
I think it's a great idea.
yeah, he's got all that stuff listed on there and doing great.
Yep. So I'm gonna throw that up again there, brother. Hotbananashop.com, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct.
Hotbananashop.com. By the way, I was wondering where hot banana came from. At first, I was like, and then I realized that Hot Banana is the name of Nevin's boat. And I was like, dude, that's actually that is a super catchy name, Hot Banana. I was like, who would name their boat Hot Banana? I don't know, but it works. And he's got a beautiful boat. And I thought, man, that's cool, man. Hot Banana. Dig it. So Nevin and Hot Banana is handling all of our merchandise. So please go to the merchandise on hotbananashop.com, search for ADRL merch, support us. All of it helps us. Oh, there you go. Awesome. We got all of our tumblers, our aluminum tumblers, koozies, hats. You get to see half of my beautiful face up there, and then some other, clearly not my figure up there. Some other but yeah, we got hoodies. Yeah, it's all on there. Look at that. Looks great.
So, yeah, all the
Fantastic.
colors, the sizes, everything of the sorts. So
It's beautiful. Great job, Nevin. Good job, Prince Adam. Prince Adam and Nevin have this is something they spearheaded and has been spent the past year rocking and rolling. I think we've hit a few speed bumps here and there, but it all works out start with the vision, and it all works out in the long run. So that's good.
we're getting there.
Good job, dude. Yeah, we are getting there. So please go visit the merch. No, I didn't say that. I didn't say it. It sounded like it, but I didn't
real
say
close.
So please go visit the merch booth on his site.
Yeah, right now all of you are virgins to that site.
Yeah. But please go to the site, check out the merch. Remember, everything you buy helps us. So one, it's a little extra something.
I mean, it helps us, but
Yep.
how cool do you look when you're wearing ADRL merch? So I mean,
I love it.
You are helping us some, but oh my God, what you're helping yourself with. Woo.
Yeah, I love the merch. I do. I mean, I'm going to tell you, out of all logos, I can't think of another logo that I love as much as the American Drag Racing League logo.
The classic logo it's got a look and appeal and a pop.
It is
So, yeah.
great. It is great.
Big fan of it. It's where I got the idea for the with the polos. I like it's the outline of it, so it's a little bit of a twist on it, but
Heck yeah.
my favorite as well.
Okay, come here, guys. I'm going to introduce my family. Everybody watching, I'm going to introduce my chitlins here, with the exception of my oldest. She's not here right now. Come on, Hayes.
I was gonna say we're missing one. Roll call.
There we go. Roll call. It's all my mini-me's. So
long.
here we have Emmett right here.
Goodbye.
And then his sister Stevie Lane, and then Hazel Ray Fears. Everybody say hi.
Hello.
What's up, guys?
Howdy.
All right. Hazel is 11 years old now, and she's as tall as my wife almost, which is crazy. She's a tall girl. She's going to be way taller than me. She's already like 140 pounds, 150 pounds. And
Oh my God.
yeah,
Whoa.
she's like 160 pounds,
Oh my.
6 foot tall. Yeah. And she punches like a horse kicking you in the ribs. It's,
18-inch biceps.
Here's what's funny. I said, she comes in today. She's like, "Hey, Dad." I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Henry, the neighbor kid, he put his hands on me." I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, he put his hands on me. I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, he was getting physical and he shoved me. I was like, "Well, what did you do?" She goes, "Oh, I beat him up." I was like, "Oh, well, okay, well then, good.
Yeah.
All right, good job."
Congratulations.
And then he looked back, and then he like.
And now he's scared of her, which he should be. And all you guys look out for each other, right?
Yep.
That's right. Maybe those years of Kuxelwan really helped out. Good looking crew you have there. Thanks, Mr. Lucas. Dan Lucas, the youngest, oldest licensed NHRA dragster driver.
I'll be leaving.
I don't know, son. All right, you guys head upstairs. We're going to wrap up here.
We're going to bed.
You guys are going to bed?
Yeah.
Did you hear that? Did you hear what just happened? They all just said, "Hey, Dad, we're going to bed."
All right.
I mean,
I'm not.
Yeah,
Emmy was trying to
no.
start a fire 45 minutes ago.
Yeah, he was trying to start a fire 45 minutes ago. Now is bedtime doesn't bode too well
No.
this time of night. But he's got older sisters that'll just grip him up and drag him to his room. So
Yep.
so it all works.
Point proven.
All right, I'll see you guys here in a bit. I'll come up and kiss you guys good night. Hey, I'll be up after the podcast, guys.
Okay.
All right.
Love you, Daddy.
All right, love you too. All right.
What
Love
a
you, buddy.
camera hog this one
Oh,
is.
I know. I'm telling you.
I made it. It may come inside.
I got reported on the news today.
Oh, awesome.
Same.
She
You
got
guys are on the
reported.
news. I don't want. Yeah, she was on the news. I don't know what it was for, but I mean, it's pretty common around here.
Mm-mm-mm.
Kids are on the news. Don't know what for, but that's all right. All right. So yes. So merchandise. Hotbananashop.com. Also, Rocket City Drags, October 25th, October 26th. Be there. Don't be a pussy. Sorry, I'm just gonna throw that out there. It
All
probably was inappropriate, but come on, guys. Come on. It's gonna be a good time. It is going to be a good time. There's a lot of cars coming out. There's going to be a lot of cars coming out. We are officially in Run What You Brung, Door Slammer, Dragster country. So pretty excited about it. Run What You Brung. RWB, Door Slammers and Dragsters.
Tell you.
That was for you, Adam.
Ouch. Yep. All right. Well, on that note, we will catch you guys all here next week. Stay tuned. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the episodes so that others can share in this enjoyment.
That's right.
And we will catch you on the flip side.
Yeah, and hey, as well, shout out to our sponsors, Renegade Racing Fuels with Toby Baptiste, Fuel Tech Luis, and of course, Chris Duncan Race Cars with Amanda Hoover, and
Amanda and Chris both gave a like on the episode.
Oh, love it. And then as well, remember, they are dealers for Dayco belts. So if you're having problems with your current blower belts, reach out to them. And apparently, I don't know. I don't run belts, but I know
You tired
sometimes.
of leaving the track pissed off that you got knocked out of eliminations because your belt broke?
That's
No
right.
more. You call Amanda Hoover and Chris Duncan. They'll get you hooked up with some Dayco and get you down the track.
That's right. Remember, every day is a new day. Dayco belts.
Do it the Dayco way.
Do it the Dayco. Every day is a new day. Dayco belts. Do it the Dayco way. Oh, that's
Make your checks payable to Adam Horner Campus. Radio.
make your checks available at a border camera.
1712 Cushing.
That actually, I snorted on that one. That was a good. Oh my Lord, that's funny as shit. Heck, funny as heck.
Yeah, we're past the hour mark. We're good.
Lord, I bet.
We're hired.
Yes. You're hired. All right. Thanks, Darlene. Appreciate it. So huge shout out to our sponsors. And if you get a chance, go to Fuel Tech's YouTube page and watch that guy that was on the dyno down this past week from Australia running that almost 5,400 horsepower in that twin turbo big block. It was pretty awesome. It was funny because they, I think, hit like 2,400. They made a couple adjustments and then all of a sudden, boom, 5,300. It
Mhm.
was like, dang. They're like, well, that was quite a jump.
Yeah, it's got to be so much nicer to go to a dyno to test. You know, like Darryl was saying, you get kind of some of that control factor. You get the extra information. You get the ability to not have to run out of track, and then every time you're trying to do a hit, you're kind of dependent upon the track conditions, and then God forbid something happen, or car go into a wall or scrape a wall or anything like that while you're just doing some basic testing, trying to figure things out. So, and to
For
have
sure.
a dyno that could hold something like that, and
Well,
especially at a
here's
facility like Fuel Tech, I mean,
well, this guy was running all Fuel Tech equipment. I mean, I
Mhm.
think that he had 7 or 8 different pieces of gear, but most specifically, a lot of this gear was new developed technology for turbo systems. And kind of like Darryl was saying, the way that they designed the way Fuel Tech designed this stuff for these turbos, I mean, it was pretty incredible. So, good job, Luis and Fuel Tech, and Luis's buddy down there, Felipe.
Look forward to seeing some of that technology in November when he
Oh,
comes
he'll be
down
there.
to prove some points against some big tire guys.
Oh yeah, and I'm not going to say anything now, but we got some big name guys going to be showing up there in at XRP. Some pretty well known.
Familiar folks,
Maybe
you
seen
say?
them on TV. Maybe you haven't. If you don't watch TV, I don't know. Sure, you've heard of a lot of these names, but
Yep, I'd
we'll
say
re-
no more.
we'll release more of that information as we move
Yeah.
along. However,
You're
Huntsville.
You're all on a need to know basis.
That's right. Huntsville is as well going to be drawing a few very, very well recognized names in the industry too. So, anyways, if you know somebody, bring them. Bring 3, right? So, all of our door slammer guys, dragster guys, think of 2 guys you could bring with you. Tell them about it. Promote it on your page,
Yeah.
and
If you got
we'll
a
get
racer
rocking.
you'd like to call out live on the ADRL podcast, by all means, let me know. I will facilitate that.
Yeah, Adam can facilitate that.
I like that.
He loves it, as a matter of fact. So, anyways, good job, PA.
We did it again.
Good job, Nick Rabe.
Indeed.
It's a
We'll be
great
coming at
podcast.
you. Christ, I gotta find my list. I can't remember who we have next week.
I get so excited about talking about hot rods. I totally want to go get out in the Cutlass and go do burnouts, but I can't because I'll rattle everybody's house in the subdivision.
Steve King next week.
Steve King. Isn't he writing a new book?
So we're gonna find out. Got to tune in next week. Get all the details.
That's right.
2 weeks after that, we're gonna have a fellow that we're just chatting with in the chat.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. Well, much love, ADRL Nation. Thank you so much for joining in. Again, another great Thursday night podcast. PA, great job. I'm Dr. Fears,
I'm Prince Adam.
and we will see you guys next time.